Hey, folks, thank you so much for joining this fourth episode of Happy Misfits podcast. And I am so happy, so privileged right now to welcome Mike Ashabraner himself, the pack leader of the Hounds of Business Community. And before I introduce you my way, I would love you to say a few words, if you will.
Yeah, no, hey, Kevin, appreciate you. The introduction that brought you to the table, man, is phenomenal. This is you're representative of what the pack stands for, man. What I built, and we'll talk a little bit about it. But you guys make it special. You bring your own uniqueness, diversity to this, and I love it to death, man. So I'm honored to be here. Super excited, and I love your style, man. I love how you get to the real and you push people up, and people are unique, and sometimes they think there's something wrong with them. And we're proving otherwise, man. So it's a tag team duo. Appreciate the partnership. Sincerely.
Yeah. You're very, very welcome. And yeah, it's gonna be a very good one, guys. I hope you're live because that's gonna be a fiery one. And if you weren't catching up with the recording, it's gonna be still quite good, I believe. And if you missed it, well, you won't ever know. So don't worry about it, and just
Right.
roll with us. So today we have a special assemblage. We team up. So I come with my geekiness, and Mike is coming with his redneckness, and that's the thing. So how could people imagine? So you're redneck, right? But you're also a financial coach. How could those two ever combine? Like to me, you look like a platypus, right? It doesn't make any sense. Your vibe doesn't make any sense, and that's at least from my perspective what makes it so awesome. Like on paper, oh hell no, that doesn't that doesn't mix. That shouldn't. That would be almost sacrilege of sorts. So
Oh,
you're to me a very very special flavor of misfit. So in your
appreciate it.
bio, I see like you're all about down to earth advice. That you have your iconic camouflage cap, and you have those so cool country proverbs, and that's your overall very unconventional. You're an advisor, you're a financial advisor, and that's something very serious, right? But you're doing something very serious with a lot of fun, with a lot of laid back attitudes, and your own countryside vibe. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that with your words?
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. You hit the nail on the head. And long story short, it's you know, I I've been there. I've been there. I've done that, and that's where it comes from. It's. I didn't want to be in this industry. I didn't want to do these things. I was told to be someone else that I wasn't to make it happen or to be professional. And I think that's the calling card, man. Most of us, the truth of the matter is, no matter what we've been told, what kind of tapes we hold on to, we're good enough, and we have the power to be better. All right, and I think it's just human nature to beat you down, right? So that's the whole calling card was people in my life. I was blessed to have them push me up and help me become my best self, right? And that's where it all happened. And so, coming into that role, I messed up. People want to do better. They want to do better. They work hard to do better. They want to enjoy life. They want to provide for their family. They want the time and money to go out there and help other people. So that's the thing. They only don't do it typically for one reason. They don't do anything special that's in their heart because of they don't know how and they lack the self-belief. And that's what I stand against. That it's a lie. All right. Most people can make good decisions if they only had the right information to do it with, right? You're not stupid. You just don't know what you don't know. And I think that's when you take an educational approach. And yeah, you heard the saying, it's not personal, it's just business. I couldn't disagree more. I'll be honest. I'll just put it out there in public. It's your livelihood. It's your quality of life. It's your kids. Dude, there's nothing more personal. And especially in the United States, you can go get a daggum medical prostate exam. It would be less intrusive than talking about that with people, money. So I think everything I do, I strive to push people up, to help them figure it out for themselves. And then the hard part is just a lot of love and patience, because you can lead a horse to water, but you can't drown it, right? Like, you don't want to suffocate it. And I think that's where I've been on both ends. I've been the difficult person to be mentored, and I've been the mentoree. And it's all about heart to me. If someone has a good heart, they're worth my time and attention, period. And I think that's where the business structure, with that heart foundation, it makes everything else easier. It's not an uphill battle because you're true to yourself. Does that make sense? People in the comments, hey, connect with me, follow me, ask questions, man, get involved, network with each other. I know I'm taking over the show, but hell, yeah, that's what I do. But we're on the same page. Hey, let's make this. This is your time, man. Anything y'all want, man, throw it out there, because I love this. I love talking about the heart of it.
Yeah, I love that so much that you mentioned the hurt, and that the thing. So I'm not even sure who shared that. Yeah, I mean, it probably will come back, but that basically business is made by people offering services, products, whatever, to people. It's people for people. It's a people's business. Business is at its core people's business. If you don't care about people, if you're not interested into people, you're at least in my perspective, and obviously yours, you're missing the whole point. It, to me at least, business is not about money. Money just comes naturally from it. And I know some people are very triggered with, the money is just a byproduct. But actually, and yeah, we all need money, and we all could use more money in our lives, and in our loved ones' lives. But that money comes because we have value in us. We share that value with other people, and because those other people love that value so much, they retribute and they contribute. So we can keep creating that value and keep sharing that value. At least it's how I see it.
So here's the $1 million question, because you're dead on, right? People have problems, and if you look at this again, you don't have to subscribe to this, but this is how me and most of the hounds feel. It business is an extension of my heart, my values, the things I want to create, the vision, right? And that's where it is. It's an extension. We live in a capitalistic society, and so we have the opportunity, especially in this country, to go out there and make whatever we want. It's the pursuit of happiness, not the guarantee of happiness. And here's the fun part. And I learned this like 6 months ago. I get to decide for me what success looks like. It may not be $1 million. It may not be, the big house with the fence. And that's okay. It's more than okay. It should be done. So here's my soapbox. Again, do you get to the point, if and I took notes, man, because I don't usually operate this early, so I appreciate the grace. Um, again, how do you say yes to things? That's what say yes to opportunities and say yes to yourself. Most people I encounter, they lack the courage and they lack the confidence. And let me clear this up real quick. Well, I don't have the confidence. I'm not good at it. I don't like it. I don't know if I can do it. Somebody laughed at me. Whatever. You're talking to a dude in a camo hat, all right, that got bullied on his live stream and last almost a year and a half ago, guys. And as a result of that, I didn't give up. I put it on. I looked in the mirror. I said, this is what I'm going to do. This is who I'm going to be. If it doesn't work, I'll find another way. But I'm not going to live inauthentic. I'm not going to live locked in the trunk of my car, so to speak, right? And so it's courage, tremendous courage to look like a dork, to mess it up. I had a guy, we were talking about this. Guys, I had a dude, I just met him yesterday. And the guy has a great business, great heart, and he has a mission to help sex trafficking, right? He donates like 20% of the proceeds for that. That's his real passion. So he uses his business to make more time, more money, because we can't help people. We can't go out there and volunteer and help a needy family if we don't have time and money to do it. So then he looked at me and said, a lot of people seem like they're just not into that. They shun it. There's too much for them. And I said, yeah. But this guy, oh yeah, you better believe I'm going to shout you from the rooftops. So my point is this: if you're out there being you and people are rejecting you for you, you're in the wrong damn place. You need to find new people. It's not you. again, there's many. I started the Hounds because I couldn't make any friends. That's how the Hounds started. I didn't fit in anywhere most of my life, Kevin. So that's my calling card, man. Wake up, take courage, and the Hounds is just a safe place for the right people to do that. We're not going to judge you. You can't sit around and be a victim. You can't not grow, but you don't have to look over your daggum shoulder because people really want the best for you. And that's what we'll always continue. So that's the foundation. Then the business stuff. Marketing gets easier when you're attracting the right people, when your mindset is clear, when you're mission focused and you're not worried about blowing around like an unrooted tree, man. That this is from me. I've experienced this stuff, guys. I'm not Yoda. I didn't make this academically. I went to the school of hard knocks, and so I challenge anybody. You didn't screw it up worse than me, and that's why I go out there and share my story. So, Kevin, you guys in the audience out here, y'all don't have to spend 2 years screwing it up. I'm gonna help you figure it out in a month or so, right? That's the point. So stop saying no and stop give you gave me a million reasons and excuses why you couldn't do it. I want to challenge everybody to yourself at least. Give me one reason you could, because that's where it starts. One reason you should have the courage after you got beat up and bullied and they stole your lunch money on a live stream like the Redneck, and then you come back like a forest fire of passion. That's where it starts. Because if you have that, you're unstoppable. Know yourself, know other people, and you can make great things happen, man. Does that make sense?
That makes so much sense, and we're touching some of my most favorite topics of all. So I can't wait to dig deeper. But before we do that, I'd love to salute the people that said yes to our invitation today to join us live. So Daniel, David, Michelle, John. I believe I have everyone, at least everyone in the comments. If you would like to be saluted properly, just feel free to comment, and I would love. Oh, new just joined, and Tammy, awesome. So we're starting to warm up here, and thank you so much, guys. It's wonderful to see you, and big shout out to the Hounds of Business community that you built, Mike, and we'll get into that in a hot minute. But before we get there, and I love you that you mentioned that it all started with identity. It all started with knowing yourself, embracing yourself, reframing yourself. At least my words, maybe you don't see it that way, but it's how I understand it. And I'd love for you to let us know a little bit, like, how did you turn your redneck identity around from negative? As I mentioned, I had a lot of negative feelings around rednecks, right? Back in the days. So from negative to positive. How did you do that? That's a magical trick to me. That's a Gandalf level of magical trick.
Yeah. Again, I mean, anytime you have a general, title or stereotype of somebody, there's all kind of different subsects and things that you can analyze, right? So country people, and it's more of a light term, right? Redneck, and but there is a positive identity in the country and country folks that it's just hardworking people that just kind of value the honesty and just plain talk, and they support each other. And, to be honest, I'm more of a I guess the terminology, maybe somebody said pink neck because I'm about 51% country, but I had moved because of my childhood. I moved back and forth. So I lived in a trailer park in the suburbs. I lived in housing in the suburbs. I lived in the country, and I lived and I went to school in urban in big city. So I have a mix of all that. So I really didn't know who I was because I never fit in anywhere. But I always resonated with the country, the values of the people in the country, the simplicity of the country, really appealed to me. And so I just, I'll tell you what happened on LinkedIn when COVID hit. I couldn't go out and play anymore. So this is how the redneck. It's like Larry the Cable Guy, but it's in reverse. Like this is not a facade. This is who I truly was. I just embraced and accepted that. And so what happened was is a guy that taught me a lot of LinkedIn and things like that. He really got me going on business and being myself. It was amazing. And this is what I provide in my coaching program for people because I want to pay it forward. But this guy said to me about 3 months into it, he said, "Hey man," he's an old cage fighter, right? So he's plain talking. He said, "Hey man, your profile sucks and you're wearing a suit. Why?" Honestly, that was probably the most pivotal question, life changing. I said, Because just like you said, Kevin, it's like, well, that's what we're supposed to do in my industry. Blah, blah, blah. You're supposed to try to speak. He says, how's it working for you? Is it working for you? Oh, heck no. No, I make more money crushing tin cans right now. It's not doing anything. He says, then what do you have to lose? Holy cow. Whole life change. Now, so I put the hat on. I went out there, and I'm not going to tell you I start closing business left and right or building community or none of that. But what it did was it helped me sleep at night for the first time. Like I felt good about me. Number two, it being authentic to this point. Anybody can do it. You don't need a camel hat, guys. Listen to this. Number two, authenticity, right? That people can sniff out that I wasn't genuine. I have a good heart. I wasn't up to nothing, but they felt that because I wasn't being this. This is who I am. This is who I'm comfortable. And then um I started putting the business stuff, right? The marketing, all these things that we think are business problems. A lot of times they're inner problems. Sometimes it's not the strategy or the thing you're doing or the sales call script you're following. It's you having a resistance, you having a lack of confidence, you feeling like there's people out there that do all this stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, I could never do. They're so good. It cringe and it would be cringy if I tried to do it. But then I realized, and I had supporters around me through the hounds that said, listen, you don't have to do, you shouldn't do that. Let me help you figure out how you do it. And boy, so yeah, take the principles, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, listen, take the principles, take all that truth, but then it's up to you to mold that to your style, to your liking. And here's how I start. How do I know I'm on the right track, Mike? That little voice inside of you, that good little feeling that you try to suppress, right? That little wind. Like it's not about other people. It's about you doing you. Because when you can do you, other people the right people will receive the message. And you'll repel the wrong people, you'll attract the right people. And I think that's what you're special. You're not a weirdo. You're special and unique. All of us are. But few of us tap into that, embrace it, and run with it. It's a gift. I mean, there's several things I could bore you with, um, but I won't. It's there's things that I thought were just awful and I was weird, or now like superpowers, like X-ray vision, dude. The way I can see patterns and know people so well from the onset used to scare me because I could tell somebody didn't like me from just looking at them for a nanosecond, and it freaked me out. Now I understand it and I can use that for the better of that person. I know because I've been there, right? So I can relate. I have great empathy. So stop looking at these things like it's a barrier or it's a negative. Hey, it's not negative when you start using it in the right way. Does that make any sense? Because that might have been a little bit.
Yeah, no, I love it. And what you just shared resonates with me so much. You know, that embracing yourself, like you've seen the whole journey of my rebranding, right? I joined the Hounds before. So right, actually, kind of right around when I got that massive epiphany that I wasn't supposed to serve anyone or just entrepreneurs with my social relationship coaching, that I was supposed to serve my fellow misfits, that my mission, my purpose was to serve my peeps. The freaks, the weirdos, the aliens, the whatever you call them, the one of a kind, the unicorns, the geeks and nerds, and those flavorful, pegs in the hole kind of peeps. And when I realized that, I was like, oh shit. And I already own myself on the personal side, right? I hide myself in the personal side for a very long time. It took me a long time to accept who I was and stop hiding and stop compartmenting my personal life. But I never tried to go that route in my professional life. And yeah, it's what happened to me, like when what I started to do 2 months ago. So, and you saw the journey, right? So yeah, it resonates so much. Like when we stop hiding and when we start acknowledging ourselves for who we are and stop dimming our damn light, but making it shine so bright it hurts other people's eyes. And if they don't like it, they just can buy some shades and then they won't be bothered, or they just leave the room and they won't be bothered. But you will attract your real people.
Yeah, let me
And
let me let me piggyback real quick because it's kindergarten skills. We think back to people. Even if you wear a suit, even if you have a million professional licenses, you're top of the food chain, whatever, dude. Listen, it's kindergarten skill. Remember, we didn't care what color, what educational level anybody was, what gender. We just wanted to make friends. We just wanted to be there and be a part of something and have fun and share our crayons. And that's the calling card. That let's build the foundation, because I'm telling you, your marketing questions and your business questions and you're relating to people, all these things will fall in place when you define what you want, how you want it, and what you're going to be. And you get to decide. You get to decide your persona on and off LinkedIn. It has nothing to do with LinkedIn. LinkedIn's a tool. It has to do with you knowing you, and then taking that heart that you have and attracting and nurturing the relationships with others. So if you're out here looking to pitch slap with a P like I did for 2 years because you didn't know any different, that's a problem. When you learn that business, dog parks, and dating are pretty much the same thing, when you understand, because think about it. Think about the way you're approached on LinkedIn. Think about the way somebody, I got an email. This guy took my YouTube, he tore it to pieces. I don't know him. And then at the end of it said, I can help you. If I did that to my wife, we wouldn't be here. Hey, you know what? If we got a haircut and a bath, I might take you out on a date. She would. Do you think she would say, "Oh, you're my dream man"? So if we don't do that in business, in our relationships, again, it's not easy, but it's simple. And I want to bring back the daggum simple, and that's what the Hound stands for. It's hey, heart first, business second, 50-50. There's no they go together like PB and J, man. So I think, and by the way, I can't comment. So I love the people here, all these hounds and non-hounds and future hounds. Thank you for the comments. Bring them, ask questions, have fun, network, connect with me. And I would love. I'll come back and comment later in the replay. But I love every one of you guys, and without you guys, my brain emptied out about 6 to 12 months ago. So the hounds is evolved because of the hounds. I'm just the guy who created the ecosystem. You guys make this special. You guys make this profitable and amazing. And we're going to 2.0 soon, but we'll keep that quiet. But it's coming.
yeah, quiet but not so quiet. And I would love to just salute Lone and Alden. You just joined a few moments ago, and thank you so much. And we know you're very special people as well. You're our kind. You're misfits as well, and we celebrate you as well. And yeah, let's get together. And that's the thing. So one of the main let's say, bridges we have between misfits, whatever flavor we are, like whether you're redneck or geek or unicorn or LGBT or whatever you are, and you don't quite fit in the norm, whatever it could mean. Usually, we go through some shit because of our difference. We face some form of discrimination. We face some form of challenge because of our uniqueness. So before our uniqueness can become our superpower, usually it slaps us in the face, like big time.
Yeah.
And I have the feeling you had that in your life. So would you be open to share a little bit about that? No pressure, just if you want to go that way.
No, and I share this because I want other people to benefit from it. It's again, I'm very positive. I'm not being negative, but we live in a negative world, and so I want people to relate to what I'm saying, and because you're not a weirdo, all right. And if I can help you, I'll help you. So, it was an instance where I was brand new. I just put my hat on. I was excited. I was learning. I was like a child, right? And my mentor at the time was kind of keeping me safe as much as possible, like, that like I do now, like, it's like baby chickens just hatched, they're not ready to fly, flop around. So there was one guy and he had acronyms, he was doctor this, doctor that, and he had fancy this and fancy that. And he had booked a meeting with me. I didn't know he did it. He just booked it and started striking up a we were in the same group. And then the guy out of nowhere started talking like I wasn't in the room about how ridiculous I looked, and if he had known that I was a goofball, or he didn't know me before he saw my persona or my brand, that he would have took me seriously and just started bashing me. It went from constructive to just not right. And the guy, I got to give him credit. The cage fighter guy, he stopped it. So I'm watching this, and I think that was the one thing. Remember, I told you to be true to yourself. It wasn't about proving this guy wrong, or it wasn't about convincing people otherwise. What it was is that really bothers me. That really at the core of me bothered me. So here's what I did. I took my impressions, which at the time were like, I don't know, 1,000,000 or something impressions in 30 days or something. And I stuck them out there, took a screenshot, dropped them, and didn't say a word. Immediately, this guy's response was to block me, cancel the appointment, and disappear from the group. And I share this because I'll never forget it. What did I do? I didn't even know the dude. Like, so I want you guys to understand there's a difference between dog catching, right, and bug zapping. Dog catching is what I used to do. And you're hunting. You're just going out there trying to make things happen. When you become yourself, you can relay back a little bit. You can sit in the boat while you fish. You don't have to swim after fish, right? When you become yourself and you start to reconcile that I'm okay, that I'm unique, I'm not weird, then you'll start to manifest those things. You'll start to target friendships that are conducive, right? That are useful. You'll start attracting and looking for opportunities to connect with people who are like-minded, right? And that will naturally tie up your time. So you don't have the need to convince or to worry about someone's opinion, because at the end of the day, you're trying to get blood from a turnip. Look at all the people that don't like you, and you think you missed an opportunity. No, you didn't miss an opportunity. What you did was you saved time. The worst thing, listen, do you want to spend 4 hours convincing, or do you want to spend 20 minutes helping someone who's going to say yes to you because they chose to say yes to you? That, guys, if you all understand that, if you agree with that, let me know. And if you have a counterpoint, you, let me know. But stop worrying about everybody. You can't control the outcome. You put your best foot forward every day, consistent daily activity, man. I'm telling you, look at me. It's coming. All right. Good things, and you're happy. Having a job is for working with people you don't like and doing stuff that makes you unhappy, most of them. If you're in business, it doesn't have to be a chore. You just need to be around the right people. That's where the hounds come in. And then you need those skill sets up that can help you to the next level, other people's business services that can help you. So we're not the only ones, but we try to restore the integrity into these tools that have got a bad rep. So heart first, then the people I know, like, and trust and work with in the hounds, it's not a question mark. Can I trust them? Can they? We know they have the best value, right? Because that's it. I trust you and you have the best solution. There's no other halves of the circle. That's it. And so, yeah, go out there, figure it out. Look, and by the way, there's 900 million people on LinkedIn. There's more social, and you're not going to run out of people. If you had 0.00001% of those people, you would be beyond belief successful, wealthy. So stop worrying about what you don't have. Be grateful for what you do have, and then go after what the hell you want. That is simple as it. Not easy. You have to go through the caterpillar process of growth and struggle. But man, that's the mic dropping truth right there. Stop, put the blinders. Don't worry about another man. Don't worry about another project. You learn from it and you create you from you with your style. All right. I tried to
Yeah.
take my mentor, I mastered my mentor's speech, but it was his. I'm not a 60-year-old man. It was weird, right? So I had to put it in me terms. So guys, do that. Put it in you terms. And Daniel's got it, man. His camo hat is his. Look, I I love that. That is exactly what I'm talking about. Daniel knows who he is. He's different. He's unique. He leads with a different style, and that's why he stuck out to me, because everybody looks the same, and this guy come along being himself, and I say, oh, you're like a glow stick in the dark. Like, you know, if somebody doesn't want a glow stick, they'll ignore you. But guys like me and you, we're all looking for those unique glow sticks, man. And so, yeah, be you, whatever the hell that means. And life's too short. Start smiling, man. That's all I got. You take yourself seriously, but not your business. Actually, it's the opposite. Take your business serious, but not. I manage business and I lead and have fun with people. It's not the other way around with me. And I know people give me crap and academics give me crap, but I'm telling you, that's what makes me happy in the morning. That's why I succeed. And you can disagree. And if you do what you need to do. But just stop worrying about people. God, I know I got on a soapbox, but stop. Put the blinders on. Save me here. Say something. I'm gonna keep rambling if you don't say something.
I love what you said. So apparently you touch a chord here, because the Chat is vibrating like an old school Tamagotchi. It's getting wild. And you know what? Let's go even wilder. I'm inviting you, guys, if you have any questions. And the point of this call today, to this podcast today, is go a little bit off track with Mike and explore new horizons, right? So I have my ideas, but come with yours. If you have some unusual questions that you never dare to ask Mike, maybe now is the time. Mike might decide to not answer your question. That's his choice, but well, you can shot it and see what happens. And thank you. So I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. I'm sorry, Gita or Gita. I'm not sure. I will go with Gita, but please correct me if I'm wrong. And thank you so much for joining. And so, guys, yeah, if you have questions, please come and join the fun, join the party, and add your own vibe, your own flavor to it. And while we're waiting for some participation, okay, let's move on a little bit. And I would love to go on the relationship side of things. And yeah, that one I know you covered so very often because like it's the whole point of the hounds, right? The hounds
Right.
are your go-to tool to create better relationships in your life, collaborations, partnerships, and broaden your network. And you know that very cliche yet very true saying: your network is your net worth. And you put it in a very different light because like and it's very interesting, right? That very cliche saying works extremely well for you because you're a financial coach and you're also the pack leader of the hounds. So you kind of combine both in a very very interesting way. And so I'm wondering how authentic relationships and genuine connections played a role in your success directly. So you already shared some of that, but I would love to know, like, do you have any hidden mentor, someone that really extended a hand at a time where you really needed it, someone that saved your skin back then, and you didn't necessarily mention that person the way they deserve. Maybe you did, but I feel now might be an interesting time. What do you say?
Yeah, and forgive me, it cut out a little bit on me, but I think I got the gist of what you asked. Yeah, I mean, there's too many to count. Relationships are absolutely crucial to most of us. If you're in the service industry or you're just a people person or you rely on anybody but yourself, which we all do at some point. So, all that being said, there's too many people to count. The only reason I'm here is because folks in the early, and it's funny because I helped people in the early days. I just wanted to make friends. I stuck them in a group so I can keep up with them. I had no intention, no idea what I was doing. But what I ended up doing was down deep inside of me. I said, "You know what? Instead of talking about what I do, how about I just connect with these people because I genuinely like these people, right?" And I poured in. I taught them LinkedIn. I taught them anything. I've become an impromptu dating coach, dude. Anything I could do to help these people along, and it just started growing. So what happened was that I didn't pitch slap. I didn't do any of that, and I was okay. And to this day, a lot of them will say, "Oh, well, you did so much more for me than I had done for you." And I disagree, and I tell them I'm not being coy and flattering. What the problem is what I did for you is measurable, right? So you can see your income or you can see your progression measurable by metrics. What you did for how do you measure confidence and affirmation? I didn't have the confidence to know this would work unless these folks said to me, "We believe in you." I mean, if you look back at Sia, right? Sia Yesatoran, Brilliant Bean Media, she runs all the Hound stuff. Now, listen, I got bullied on that live stream. She, so I like to say she took me under her wing, but I just crawled in her wing and she closed it out of pity. And that's how this snowball got rolling. So if you look at it, you got Raquel, you got, oh gosh, dude, Becky, Jody, you got, and it just rolled. And then more people jumped in. They just caught on that positive bandwagon. So today, somebody asked me the other day, I can summarize it. They said, "What's your weaknesses?" I don't have any. What are you talking about? You don't have any? I said, I outsource it. I got 100 people over here that pick up my slack. What a beautiful thing. Like I got Dr. New. I don't have to know all that stuff, but she's going to coach me. And I have grown so much from that. So all the folks in the Hounds, new OGs, man, seriously, it's not a flattering thing. I don't say stuff I don't mean, but I'll tell you what, I will give credit where it's due. And all those folks are super special. And a lot of those folks are branching out and doing great things. And that's a satisfying thing. Think about this, guys. Tell me what you think in the comments. I made the comment. I said, if I got everything I wanted when I wanted it without struggle, y'all wouldn't be here. So y'all wouldn't be doing these things that I started, right? So we got movements, we got great people out there. I didn't take credit for that. But if it wasn't for me being in that spot and going through the crap I did in life, I wouldn't be here, to push that off. And then Sia grabs it and then other people grab it. And then the next thing I know, this little spark in a brush fire turned into a raging forest fire of goodness. So my point is, there are challenges. There are things but focus on the good. And when you got negative coming in or you have a challenge, man, that's just God and the universe, whatever you want to call it. That's a wake-up call for adjustment. Don't take it personal. Just go out there and build and do you. So yeah, if it wasn't for the folks that you see today and all the people that are just pushing me up behind the scenes, I couldn't do it. And that takes a vulnerability that's hard to do. And that's what the Hounds is about. Are you about business? Are you about, honestly, we're about honesty, integrity. We're about a safe place. You don't have to look over your shoulder. I ain't coming after you. I care about you. They care about you. Right. And that kind of thing that's what people want. And then, oh yeah, by the way, there's a big ass collaboration that can blow your business up. Yes. Who doesn't want that? So you can do it. And again, anybody who wants to learn more about the Hounds, just DM me Hounds. I love to talk about the Hounds. I love to get to help people. And the Hounds love more Hounds. So hopefully I answered that question. But
Yeah. You answered beautifully, and I would love you if you're okay to answer. So we had one question for starters from John, so I'll let you read real quick. But I really want to kind of show people how exemplify what you just said. Like I joined the Hounds. It was like maybe 6, 7, maybe 8 weeks ago. Not that much. I have not even 3,000 followers on LinkedIn, which is already quite good, right? You have almost 20,000, right? Yet
30, yeah.
you barely know me. You still make me the immense favor to come to my new podcast. Like it's only the 4th episode, and look at who's coming here, the big dog himself, Mike Ashabraner. Like it's exactly like it's beautiful. I love that you might be the head hound, but you don't care. Like for you, it feels very horizontal. Like you might have created that thing, exactly what you said. You created the ecosystem, but you still play in the ecosystem in the same way your playmates do. You get your own crayons and you share with your crayons with your friends. You share your kindergarten skill. Like I know you love that analogy so much. And you exemplify that in a beautiful way. You don't act like I'm the boss, I'm the alpha of the pack. No, you don't do that. You're just Mike. You're laid back, chill Mike, and you just do your thing. And if you feel appealed, you just respond from the heart. So I really wanted to acknowledge you for that, and so people can see like it's exactly the kind of magic we have in the Hounds. Some people are very successful. They have like decades of experience in their field. They still come and play with others that are just getting started, and it creates beautiful synergy. It's very, very powerful. So no, I shut up, and if you don't mind, I would love you to help John here.
Yeah, no, thank you for that. And John, yeah, keep that up there for me if you would, Kevin. And because I want to address that real quick. Again, we all have an ego. It's just we got to temper it and check it. And again, growth. Oh my gosh, dude. Again, especially in leadership, it's a lot. And there's things. There was a saying. I think it was Roosevelt said, "Walk softly, carry a big stick." So again, yeah, I love pushing people up. I love camaraderie and making things happen. But as a leader, you're gonna have to deal with crap. It's like it's gonna happen, and you have to be proactive when things are reactive. So I think again, when we look at people, there's two things going on. Eye level, number one, eye level. No one's up here, no one's down here. We're all the same. We all put our pants on the same daggone way. So that's it. And I think that's the beauty of it. There's nobody's better than you. It's just we're at different stages. We were all like you at the beginning, most of us. And now we're just reaching back. Good for me, but how can I reach back and pull somebody along? And so if you want to put John up there again, um, I'll answer the
Yeah,
question without
absolutely.
rambling too much.
Absolutely. I got you
Yeah.
covered. I started.
Hey, John, here's what I would start with because I think, man, that's the most enlightening thing. I've realized that I thought here lately in the last few months I had a business problem or a marketing problem to solve, and again, may sound cheesy, but this is what's real. It was an inner problem. It was a spiritual problem, right? It was first of all, here's what I would tell you out of this week's experience, John. Ask yourself, and yes, you have to pay the bills. Yes, you have to do what you got to do. But before, during, and after, start asking the hard questions that your coworkers and your family probably never ask, or they even get mad at you for asking, which is, what do I want? See, I got a degree in computer programming because my brother got one and he was happy. And I thought that would be happy. But that's his life. That's not, I sucked at it. I had to, I'm not going to say but I hated it. I had to get the hell out of it. So I would start and take this time to say, what do I enjoy? What do I want? And it's really the principle of ask, seek, and knock, right? Ask yourself the questions. Go out there and see what opportunities pop out. Explore them like a scientist would in an experiment. Don't put pressure on yourself. Just say, hey, I'm going to try this. If it doesn't work, I'll get some more information. I can try again, something else. Or right, you determine that. And be playful. Be curious. Be childlike in this regard. Stop putting pressure on yourself. And so I would and network. Here's the best thing to do. I've got people in the Hounds and I mean, there's tons of them on LinkedIn, good people. Support their post. Give before you ask. Ask because if you really bring some value to somebody that can recruit in an industry or somebody who's leading, and you're being genuine and taking your time and you're cultivating this relationship and nurturing it, not forcing it, they're going to, the right people, if you do that enough, are going to say, hey, and you'll have the opportunity to get some more skills or more insight. Um, so I would relax a little. I would say, okay, I got to restart. Do I want to jump right back in and just work to work and be unhappy or whatever may be happening? Or do I want to sit back, take a breath, just pick a direction in my heart and go after it? Man, that's it. Like, again, this could have backfired. It could have been bad and I wouldn't have done it probably, or I would have found another way. But this worked for me. But there was 1,000 things, John, you don't see that didn't work for me. So don't feel like you're a weirdo. You're just where I was 3 years ago. That's it. And if you use the principle, if you lead with the heart, if you just say yes, and you don't worry about the naysayers, you just have amnesia, you move on. It's over, brother. So that hopefully that helps you. But yeah, dig into your trauma, overcome that with coaching and expertise with people who are skilled to do it like I did. I mean, I'll be honest, man, I was cut to the bone last week. Um, it was very painful, but instead, again, what can I do about it? Well, I tell you what I did. Instead of blaming circumstances and people, I've looked in. I said, what do you need to learn? What growth are you ignoring right now, Mike? Well, that's deep stuff, isn't it? But man, isn't that the way to live? Now people are gonna people. Dogs are gonna bark and cats are gonna meow. It is what I don't control hardly anything. But boy, that little bit of myself, my mindset, my willingness to be curious, man, that'll kill it. That's what I needed. And now I don't take it the same. People are the same, but I don't take it the same way. You heard the saying, man, when you change the way you look at things, the way you look at things begin to change. It sounded like crap for 40 years, but I'm telling you, it worked last week. Like, so John, you're all over it, man. You keep doing you. You go out there, find your tribe. Talk to me a little bit, man. I love to talk to you off here. I want to respect everybody's time and Kevin, but yeah, let's do it, man. Because if I can make an introduction or something, what good for me. Now, what about others? That's it. I don't worry about last thing while I'm rambling. This is write this down. If you put a spotlight on your chest, who can it not shine on? If you strap and tape a spotlight to your chest, who can it shine on? Who can it not shine on, Kevin?
Yeah, people in my bag.
Yeah,
Oh, and
it can shine on
myself, obviously.
anybody but me. Anybody but me. But here's what I didn't know. Good people have to reciprocate. It's in their nature. I'm not keeping score. I'm not doing it for that. I just know that when I help Kevin, just because I like him and I wanted to help him and I was able to, he says, I want you on my show because he's a good man, right? Like he gets it. It's win-win and it's coming from the best interest and aligned interest of others. So that's it. Just go out there, pick and choose, mess things up, get beat up on a live stream, whatever it takes. Because I promise you, when you get to that point of inner satisfaction and that next level, you won't remember the pain and the rejection. You won't remember the naysayers. They'll be drowned out in the sea of your own happiness and your own peace because it's going to happen. People are going to do things. Things are going to happen. You're going to do things. And I think what makes us special is we say, hey, at the end of the day, we're all flawed. Let's just restart. Let's hit the restart button. Let's try again. Right. This person's not bad. This thing's not. It's just a way of things. Multi-billion-dollar companies go through growth pains. What the hell makes you think you're immune? Right. So it's the way we handle these things, man. It's the mindset we bring to it. And give yourself permission to screw it up. Stop beating yourself up. Stop it. That was my biggest thing. Beating myself up. That, hey, now I push myself up. And I do the hard work. I do the hard work. People tell me, you know, you work on this. And if they have my best interest at heart, I'll work on it. But if I don't think they're in the right state of mind or if they're not genuine, then I say thank you and I'll move on. Right? You can control you. And when you do that, man, lots of amazing opportunities and happiness because I just want to be peaceful. I want to be happy. That's it. I want to do what makes me happy, which is making others happy. So you just have to be wise about it. So hopefully that helped you, John. I'm rooting for you, my friend. You're just going through this phase. But when you come out of this phase, guess what you're going to be able to do? You're going to be able to tell your story and your experience and keep someone else from struggling for 5 to 8 years, brother. So that's what I would focus on that. This is your story and development. One day you'll have the opportunity to tell your story and you will change lives with it. Focus on that rather than what the hell's wrong with you today and see what I want to hear it. 7 days from now, do it every day. Tell me what's happening. You'll see it, brother.
I love that so much. And yeah, that was a beautiful, beautiful answer to John. And I feel it could be a very good answer to many people, and even people that are already doing quite good, or even that are thriving and being successful. I feel it could be very, very useful. And so as we are slowly going toward the end of this podcast, so I saw some questions around the hounds. So Jita didn't know about the hounds yet. So I invite you guys, if you don't know about the hounds, to check the Hounds of Business YouTube channel, or just reach out to Mike directly on his LinkedIn. It might be even faster. And you can access his profile directly from the LinkedIn event, right? So it's quite easy. And so we had also a question from David, which might be a little bit technical, and it would take probably too much time to answer fully. That it was that one, but actually maybe you can at least start to answer that one with answering with my other one. I would love to know what you're working on these days and what excites you the most these days. So you told us about the Hounds 2.0. That is very hush hush. We are not supposed to talk about that yet, but still we do. But yeah, just if you can explain to us what's new, what's getting sad on your side.
Yeah, let me, David. I love to chat with you. But the answer is all of it and both. So that's the beauty of what I do is that I love. I mean, come on, we everybody loves the multimillionaire clients, all right. But here's the thing, man. I love sitting down with other working class people like me, like school teachers, right? Like, I work hard for my family. I make 60 grand. I need help. So again, good hearted people, send me a message. I got a little video I can show you, but yeah, it's about helping people because we can do the math and say, do this X, Y, and Z, but it's our head that gets in the way of us doing it, right? And so that's where the head and the heart and the math come together. So love the question. I look at good hearts because I had a guy real quick. I had a guy that was like 18, nothing going on. I helped him out. Everybody said you wasted your time. I said probably. But then his wealthy uncle who owns 3 businesses was curious. He thought that maybe it wasn't kosher, right? So he made the introduction and boom, now the guy's my client. So you never count your chickens. You don't say, well, that sucks, this sucks. You just make sure you're doing the best you can, man. But good people, it never failed me, guys. I'm telling you, good-hearted people. So Hounds 2.0. The Hounds is a collaborative, just a community and a collaboration of just good-hearted business entrepreneurs, business owners, people who are transitioning from a job to a business, people who are already successful and hit their goal. Now they're amping up to the next goal. Those guys are the Hounds. So just DM me. I've got a process, but we're coming. It's like I woke up with my 2 kids, and the next day I woke up with 200 kids. Right? Like I can't. You can't. Now you got to have help. You got to have structure, right? So the Hounds is just saying, look, we have been blessed because people have saw our heart. They saw our results. We do mean business. We're not a country club of just happy people. We get things done. We make impact from that, and lots of business has been made, very profitable. But that's what we want to maintain. So how do we grow more of the goodness? Be intentional about that growth so we can get more fine people into this because all boats rise, right? So that's what this is just being intentional about what just organically happened, man. These relationships, the Hounds, it didn't happen from a business plan, but now it's grown as the organism. Now we have to have some structure. So there's some really good intentional things. We're expanding horizons. We're empowering more folks, newer folks, existing people to just be seen. Because here, if people knew your heart and they saw your value, there is no sales pitch needed. That's it. So that's the move the needle. And then for people who want to go to the next level, they can. So the Hounds is just it's like a buffet. You come in, you can have all, none, some. You can have the steak, you can have the vegan bar. Man, I don't care. Come in, be a good person. You'll figure it out. It's just the ecosystem, right? Nicole came in, broke her leg in the worst way, and now she's writing 1 million books, right? She made that opportunity. I put the ecosystem together. The Hounds made it what it is, and she took charge of that. So if you're open to it, if you want to be around folks, if you're having trouble, join the club. We can't throw stones in our glass house. We can't even throw paper clips in our glass house. It's so damn thin, right? So there's no judgment here. We've had people go through life challenges like you wouldn't believe. And you don't share those in professional settings because people will use it against you or they'll say you're weak or they don't. Not here. No, we're human beings, by God. And mental health, we got the Walking Tall movement, Chris Malazewski. We care. We truly care, man. So don't come in here like, well, I got problems. Yeah, so do we. Let's solve them together. Does that make sense, guys? It's Redneck Camelot. That's basically what the hell has happened here. And now 2.0 is just going to make it even bigger because the world is saying, we like this heart attitude. We like this sentiment. We like this. It's more fun to wake up and work with people you just love, and they got your back, man. And that's what this is about. Does that make sense?
It makes so much sense, Mike. You're honestly, you're amazing. I really, really love what you created, the Hounds. It was a brilliant idea, and you're not just stopping at the idea. You're making it thrive. You're watering it. You're fertilizing it. You're creating the new batch. That's very wild. So, guys, if you've been touched in any way by what Mike just shared, if you were like, at least I would be curious to know more about those Hounds, you don't have to sign up already. And maybe you won't be allowed to because it's still a special club. You need to show that you have a very good heart, that you have very good intentions, that you are really authentic. So you will have to pass a kind of test. So I feel fair that people know the Hounds is not for everyone. It's not your usual business container. You want to show up with heart and love. Otherwise, you won't be able to go past the doors. The bouncer you would tell you got sneakers, you can't come, or probably it would be the other way around. You're well too dressed up, so you go home now. So I feel that, yeah, it would be more that way.
Hey,
Oh, and
well said, man. Yeah,
so
that
yeah, Heidi just joined us. I'm so happy. Heidi will be next week's guest. Guys, you want to admire her gentle rebel vibe. She's totally hound material. I don't know if Heidi wants to join the hounds, but she's full out hound material to me.
Hey, let me preface it. Guys, there's nothing to buy. I have this much convincing in me. It's not that great, dude. Listen, I, it's not a prison. Doesn't lock from the inside. If it's not a good fit or whatever, because we have too many. If we have too many of one industry at the given time, there's different things like this. But here's my promise. I just want to get to know people and I want to be able to connect them. So if they're not a great fit for a live stream or the hounds or whatever reason for today, maybe that changed tomorrow. I'll do anything I can, right? Like I'll make a connection. I'll introduce you to another group if it makes sense. Like that's what it's about. It's about people getting unstuck and getting the real information, not sales pitch information, just getting the real information so they can now decide what to do. People don't need to be sold. They just need to know the truth and have options and what you do with those options. So you can come to the hound, you can leave, you can come back. There's no ego in this, right? Just come as you are, grow together, and figure it out later, right? So yeah, absolutely. Love you guys. Love all the comments, all the support, man. I'm blown away by it, and yeah, I hope some people take our call. I hope they and you can reach out to Kevin. You can talk to Kevin if you're more comfortable. He's a hound. He'll bring me in the mix. Whatever. So go out there, guys. Man, have fun. You guys are amazing. Thank you for the support and future hounds. I can't wait to hear from you. You truly bless my day.
I love that. Yeah, and that's very good. Like any hounds could be ambassador to hounds. We don't have to go every time through Mike. Like we can be introductory. We can be bridges to Mike. So yeah, absolutely, guys, feel free to reach out. And so now we really have to wrap up for sake of time because we respect your time because I believe that time is the absolute most precious resource of all. So I respect everybody's time. But before we wrap up and I let Mike finish with a few words, I would love to invite you. This week is very special to me. Last week, I hosted my new masterclass, Uncover Your Tribe masterclass, and I'm sharing the recording until this coming Sunday. Plus, I have a follow-up, a 5-day email course following up the masterclass because I wanted to cram so much value in the masterclass, yet I was advised to make it no longer than 60 minutes because, time is precious. So I was like, okay, let's find a loophole. Let's find a way to still cram all that value, but and respect everybody's time. So if you're interested in the same link, I will share it in the comments again. You will be blown away, I promise you. If you are a misfit, if you want to make your unique light shine brighter, and if you want to uncover your tribe, if you want to connect with the right people for you, not what society tells you should do, not the people that should be your connections according to society or your grandmother or your goldfish or whatever. No, for you. Then yeah, you might be very interested. And if you're not, no biggie, no worries. But yeah, I'm going beyond that one. And on that note, Mike, I would love for you to finish, to wrap it up with your precious wisdom.
Hey, you know what? First of all, yeah, heck yes to what your style, your heart. I can't wait for the workshop. I can't wait to dive into the recordings, man. Yes, absolutely yes. Heck yes. And then I guess the only last thing is take a baby step, man. That take a tiny you could do anything for a couple minutes, right? Like, you don't just take a baby step, right? Don't stop worrying again about the million reasons and excuses that you have not to do something, man. Challenge yourself. What is one thing, one little tiny thing I could do every single day while I'm brushing my teeth or something? You know, just take one step. And here's my last thing. I learned this the hard way. Amateurs do things alone. Amateurs, they never seek wisdom. Any top level athlete, professional, business, whatever, has coaches, mentors, coaches, friends, multiple coaches. And I have evolved like crazy because I've been surrounded by all these brilliant people who even help my crusty butt become my better self. And that's my calling card. So figure it out, take courage. Good things will come. You'll have to go through some crap. You will go through crap. All right. So you better go ahead and get a crap suit on and get ready. But I promise you, it's it there's a light at the end of the tunnel, man. There's a hose waiting for you. All right. It's going to be unbelievable. You just have to be around the people and know the truth, man. So you all did spend your time with me. If you reach out, I will do absolute best to reward that because that's reciprocity. I practice what I preach. And thank you for guys for doing this, man. You made my day exciting. This is what it's about, man. I'm going to go out there and just charge forward because of all the love in the comments, because of your graciousness. This is the Hounds. All right. So I can't wait to see the messages today, guys. Love you all.
You're magical, Mike, and I leave everyone with that. See you very soon. Bye.
Yes, sir, man. Y'all good.